Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about ratios, and we're going to take some notes and work through some problems together, so make sure you have this video open with the slides that are attached to today's date. So let's talk about the definition of a ratio. What are ratios? A ratio is a comparison of two or more numbers. Of two or more numbers. So let's take a look at what it might mean. So right here we have a picture of 2 stars and 3 circles, and it says the ratio of stars to circles is what to what. So stars would be written first. We have 2 stars, so it would be 2, 2. And how many circles do we have? We have 3 circles. So it would be the ratio of stars to circles would be 2 to 3. So something you should know is that there are 3 different ways to write a ratio. So if we're looking at that same problem before where we had 2 stars and 3 circles, well, that can be written like what we just saw, which was, it can be written as 2 to 3. It can be written as 2 colon 3. I don't know where my number 3 went. And the third way that it can be written is as a fraction, 2 over 3. So you can write it into words, you can write it with a colon, and then you can write it as a fraction. So one thing you always want to make sure to check is that your ratio is in simplest form. So the best way to do this is to look at your fraction answer that you got. So 2/3 is what we got for our ratio of stars to circles. And this would be in simplest form because you cannot reduce that fraction. I do want to note that it is okay to have improper fractions. You do want to make sure that it's simplified though, but it is okay to end with an improper fraction. All right, now let's do some practice together. All right, so let's take a look at these questions. The first one says stars to red circles. So you're going to count how many stars there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And then how many red circles we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm writing it as a fraction first because remember it helps with reducing to see if there needs to be simplified. And this does not need to be simplified, so we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and write it as 4, 2, 7, and then 4 colon 7. We do have to write each ratio all 3 ways. All right, let's take a look at our next one. It says green circles to red circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4 green circles. And how many red circles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, it's 4 to 7. We said we did not have to simplify that, so we're just going to go ahead and write 4, 2, 7, 4 colon 7. All right, the next one says stars to green circles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stars to green circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 over 4. And we got to think, what can we divide both of those numbers by? We can simplify that to 1 over 1. Because that's just saying there's 1 star to every 1 green circle. So we would write this as 1 to 1, and then finally 1 colon 1. And then lastly, we are doing circles to stars. So for this one, they're not being very specific about what color circle, so we are going to look at all of the circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 circles. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. We cannot simplify that. We can't, even though it's improper, it's okay to have an improper fraction, but we can't divide 11 and 4 by the same number evenly. So we're going to keep it. So 11 to 4, 11 to 4. 11 colon 4. So we're done with that one. All right, for this next one, it says not stars to stars. So we are going to look at everything that is not a star. So those would be our circles. So how many circles do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually 11, just like our last slide. 11 to how many stars? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 11 to 4, again, we're not going to simplify that, so we are just going to write it our 3 different ways. 11 colon 4, 11 to 4. All right, next up we've got circles to total shapes. That means all the shapes that we have there. So let's start with our circles. Again, they didn't specify red or green. We've already counted this a few times. The answer to that is 11, right? There's 11 circles. And then total shapes. So we had 11 circles plus 12, 13, 14, 15 total shapes. So 11 over 15. Then we can't simplify that. There's no number we can divide both of those by evenly. So 11 colon 15 and then 11 to 15. All right, our next one says red circles and stars to green circles and stars. So with this word and, that actually means we're going to add. So we're going to look at our red circles and we're going to add it to our stars and get a number. Then we're going to look at our green circles and we're going to add that to our stars to get our second number. So red circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to add it to our stars, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 over, let's take a look at our green and stars. So 1, 2, 3, 4 green, and then we had 4 stars, so that would be 8. So 11 over 8. We cannot simplify that, right? So that's going to be it. 11 colon 8, and then 11 to 8. All right, and then our last one, stars to yellow circles. All right, so stars, how many stars did we have? Remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Use a different color. 1, 2, 3, 4 stars to yellow circles. We don't have yellow circles, so that's going to be 0. So 4 over 0, 4, 2, 0, and then 4 colon 0. Again, that's how many stars to yellow circles. All right, for the next part, I want you to do the next couple of slides, write the ratios all 3 ways, make sure that it's simplified. Please check the answer key that we have linked for you when you are done to make sure that you are doing it correctly. Good luck.